How you doing, everybody? Thanks for stopping by and joining us today for another Rollin' Over the Hill right here on the Live to Roll channel. And thanks to you for being part of the Live to Roll family. Also, I'd like to thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. They're a great and helpful group of experts that are very much part of our community and help make things possible here at Live to Roll. So a big thanks to them. On today's show, Dean Maccabe will be joining us again. He is also one of the experts at mobility professionals and urology professionals. So he's also a friend to us all here at the Live to Roll channel. We'll be talking about catheters, bladder management, and whatever else comes up. So please make sure to include your questions, comments, views, and uh, questions in the chat. Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Soto. I'm a T12 spinal cord injury from a motorcycle racing accident 50 years ago. So let's get started and welcome my co-hosts, Bobby and Luis. Luis, what's going on?
Hey everybody, great to see you. Um, I'm Luis. I'm a L3, L4 incomplete, and it's been 44 years for me now. Bobby, you're up.
Yeah, thanks, Luis. I'm Bobby Rohan, 35 years, C56 quadriplegic here in Southern California. And great to have our good friend Dean back. Last time we got to speak with Dean, it was more about his handsome self and his Olympic career and all the good things. But now he's got to do some work here uh, and show us what he's really all about in the catheter expert world here. So, Dean, take it away.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Dean Maccabe, and I was injured actually 42 years ago. So, Luis and Robert have me beat. And I'm a C6-7 quad, incomplete, where I have some sensation, but no function below the level, like my mid chest down. And yeah, I work for mobility professionals slash urology professionals. The company has been around for like 25 years. I used to work for Roho, and when I left Roho, I joined Mobility Professionals, and I've been there for about 17 years now. It's a great company. The owner, Don Woods, is a really good guy and helps out our community. He donates to our community, helps out with funding some programs like wheelchair sports programs and live to roll programs. So it's a great company, and everybody who works there really understands my needs as a spinal cord injury or somebody who needs catheter supplies and wheelchair equipment, stuff like that. And so if they know my needs, they know our patients' needs too. So it's pretty cool. So we have two sides of the company. Mobility Professionals does all the rehab equipment like wheelchairs, wheelchairs and standing frames and bath equipment, stuff like that, and any kind of rehab equipment. And then we have another division, the urological division, which is Urology Pros, and they provide catheter supplies and incontinence supplies and stuff like that, because that stuff really goes hand in hand, right, guys? I mean, if you're going to use a wheelchair, you're probably going to need
Absolutely.
some cath equipment too. So we get a lot of referrals from some of the big rehab facilities in Southern California for wheelchairs and supplies, but we get people calling in from all over the country because they follow us on Instagram. You got to follow us on Instagram, Mobility Professionals and Urology Professionals. Check out some of our content. We've got some great people doing some really cool stuff on there. But the urological division, what's that?
So, can you handle people outside the country of the U.S., like Canada, Mexico? Are you able
Not
to handle
not
those
really
types
outside of the country, but outside of the state for sure. Just
of?
shipping stuff outside of the country can be a little difficult,
Yeah.
but definitely outside of the state. So geographically, we're sort of limited to Southern California, like the Valley, LA, down to San Diego, Inland Empire, Palm Springs for our equipment stuff. But every state in the United States we can provide product to. because we've got a lot of contracts, a lot of insurance contracts in Southern California, but we have Medicare. That's a national contract that we provide stuff to. So we send stuff to Florida and Texas and Chicago, all over. So
Yeah.
if you need stuff like that, we'll provide it.
And what's the number one frustration when, dealing with insurance? I mean, not all insurance covers just everything. Is that correct? A misnomer? Or, tell us a little bit about the product versus insurance.
Well, when it comes to insurance, most insurance try to follow Medicare guidelines, right? Medicare guidelines will allow you to have 180 or even more catheters as long as it's a medical necessity, right? So a lot of the other insurance will follow that. Some Medi-Cals are, that's what we call it here in California, Medi-Cal. There's different Medi-Cals depending on where you are in the state. Like we have Cal Optima in Orange County, LA Care in Los Angeles, Inland Empire Health Plan in the Inland Empire, Gold Coast, up by Santa Barbara area. And within those, there are little managed care, they call it, insurances that are even more difficult to deal with sometimes. But pretty much everybody follows those Medicare guidelines. And so it's all a medical necessity. If you have a wheelchair, you need a medical necessity. It has to be a medical necessity for your insurance to cover it. If you have catheters, it's a medical necessity for them to cover it. So, what we're going to talk about different kinds of catheters and what some of the criterias are for you to be able to get that type of product.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go over that in a few minutes too.
And do you guys take cash?
We take cash. Yeah, but not a lot of people pay cash, but yes, we can. We have another separate entity for that part of the business. But we carry all the manufacturers. There are so many different manufacturers out there of catheter supplies. And let me just tell you this. Now all the manufacturers are buying up all the little DME companies. So Coloplast has their own DME company. Hollister owns ABC Medical, Convatec. I mean, all these companies own their own DME. So they're sort of putting the squeeze on us independent people that provide that product. But the thing is, the manufacturers are trying to buy all these different companies that have all the contracts so they can provide their product and some of the other product to all the insurance contracts.
Yeah.
So
that's
I'm going to tell you right
basically
now.
what they're after.
What's that?
I was just saying, so that's basically why they're buying up these companies, mostly for those contracts, right? I mean, it's just, at first I thought they were just trying to encompass the whole logistics piece, but it's those contracts they want.
Yeah, they want those contracts. They want those end users. They want to be able to provide their own manufacturing product to, they want to be able to market to all of those people. And, there's not one product that's best for everybody. I'll tell you that right hand. Me being in a chair for 40 plus years, I know that there's not one cushion that works for everybody. There's not one chair that works best for everybody. There's not one catheter that works best for everybody. So having an independent DME dealer like us, we carry everything. And it's, that's how it should be, I believe, in my mind. But the manufacturers, what's that, Bobby?
Go ahead. And then go ahead.
I was just going to say, the manufacturers are spending lots and lots of money to make some really incredible products to help enhance our lives, to make our lives easier and help cut down on infections and stuff like that. So I wish they would just keep doing all of that, and we could take care of our patients the way they need to be taken care of.
Yeah. You know, there's a question, and I know we're not into this part of our discussion, but you know, when you have somebody feeling pain, what should you do? If you want to stick around, we're going to get probably into that, you know, here any second now, actually, and you know, so you can find out what to do. But when you say many products don't work for everybody, I mean, I'm sure those are some of the effects, because either pain, bleeding, irritation, more UTIs, all those things.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, back when I first started cathing, it was pretty much a red rubber catheter and
Yeah.
lube that you had to put on there, right? And then technology got a little better, started making different type of tubing, PVC type of stuff, you know, better lube. And then now, you know, hydrophilic coating on a catheter. That makes it even slipperier. I think that's the technical term, slipperier. To be able to slipperier to insert it into your body without causing as much trauma. And you know, you can go on all the manufacturer websites and look at all their case studies and really see what's happening to your body when you're using products, and see how some of their products are enhancing people's lives and making us last longer. You know, I think that was one of the biggest killers of us spinal cord injuries back in the day, you know, infections.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people getting septic from cathing, and now you've got catheters that you don't touch at all, right? So makes life a lot easier, makes it more convenient. Cath in bags, you can cath just about anywhere. And I have, man, I've traveled around the world playing wheelchair sports, and I've cathed on in cars and planes and trains and boats and pretty much anywhere. No hot air balloons yet, though.
No, come on. Or during your skydiving days.
But it's pretty incredible how technology changes, and that's the same way with our wheelchairs, right? You know, back Luis and Robert, these guys know, man. They've been injured for a long time. It was the cool thing was the stainless steel chairs that we had in the very beginning.
Yep.
Right.
And then aluminum. Then aluminum came around.
Then aluminum, yeah.
Not just made of stainless, but made by stainless.
Yeah, stainless.
Remember there was the company called Stainless.
Yeah, it was stainless and E&J.
Yeah.
Jay made that Lightning, I think, that actually had armrests that weren't completely straight. They actually angled down. I think that was
the sloped armrest
drag when you're.
Oh man.
But back then, I remember catheters and Foley catheters and all that. There wasn't the options that we have today. I mean, there was just like certain sizes, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, and now you got. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay. Oh, I was just going to say, I know, because see, I've been cathing maybe 12 years of my 50, and I started out with I never did the red rubber, whatever it was, but I got into it was barred, and it was just self-contained bag, you know, but it just had gel. And I was using that up until 2018 when I bumped into you guys and started getting involved with you guys, where I found out about the hydrophilic, and I was amazed at how much difference there was with insertion and all that stuff. I couldn't believe it. I was still using those gel ones.
You know what? So the gel works for a lot of people. You know, it works for a ton of people out there. For me, I finally got to a point where gel products weren't working for me, and I had to switch to hydrophilic. And the funny thing is, the very first time I saw a hydrophilic catheter, I think I was in Sweden for a competition, and they were promoting it there. And the guy was going, "Here, touch it." And I'm going, "I don't want to touch this catheter." The guy was going, "No, touch it. It's really slippery." And I'm like sliding my finger on it, going, "Dang, this really is slippery."
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah, because what was the first one? The MMGs.
The very beginning,
Was MMGs, right?
yeah, Dr. O'Neill, he developed the MMG O'Neill catheter, which is really popular today. But that's that self-contained catheter in a bag where you don't touch it. It has an introducer tip, and you can sort of go over that stuff in a little bit too. I have some samples that and some slides we can talk about too. But yeah, that really changed the world. That changed a lot for people.
Well, why don't we get
Yeah.
into some of the product? And I know you had a little PowerPoint for us, so if we want to
I do.
get into some of that product,
Uh,
and I know we
During the
some other
PowerPoint display here, I'm going to switch cameras real quick. I'll be right back while we're doing the PowerPoint.
you got it.
Shawn is going to be operating the slides. I'll tell Shawn when to change the slide. So Shawn, you can show the first one if you would.
He's probably like, oh, wait. There we go.
There you go.
There's the right one, huh?
Yeah, Mobility Professionals, that's the company that we provide everything. So you can go to the next one. There you go. So those are some of the insurances that we take. There's a lot of the regular private insurances, but we also take the Health Net and LA Care and Molina. Those are some of the Medi-Cals in the country that we take. Cal Optima is another one. But you can contact our office and find out if we take your insurance. It's really that simple. It's not hard to switch if you're not getting good service too. So you can go to the next one if you would, please. So this is just a couple of pictures of some different catheters. You have the condom catheters. You have Foley catheters. That's the one at the top that has the balloon. I put this one slide in on the upper right. It's got all the different colors of catheters. Majority of catheters are going to be the 14 French. That's the green funnel tip. And then 16 French is going to be orange. Also, the 12 is the white funnel tip. And then black is 10. And 8 is going to be blue. And usually 8, 10, 12, those are going to be some of our pediatric patients that are going to utilize those. Wait, go back to that one.
Yeah, talking about that, kind of like the red rubber one there with the balloon. That's the style of something that I use for my suprapubic, and it has come a long way in one sense that now they make it where they have a coating, a silver alloy coating, where it's harder for the bacteria to latch onto and cause UTIs. So they are making headway and making those a little bit better. And my buddy Ryan, who everyone knows here, he actually says there's a new product that's even better for suprapubic users.
There is a new, first of all, those products, yes. That coating has been really helpful for a lot of people, cut down on a lot of infections. But yes, there is a new catheter that is coming out that has multiple holes in it. So if people have issues with their Foley catheter clogging up, then that catheter can help out. I'll go back down to the bottom right picture there. You have different lengths. You have catheters for men. Those are going to be a little longer, 16-inch usually. Women's are going to be 6 to 8 inches. Also, they have 10-inch catheters too. On this slide, it has 2 to 8 inches. I don't know where that came from. I don't know a 2-inch catheter myself. That might be for,
A baby, maybe.
Exactly. And then if you look in the middle there's the Rouge catheter.
Yeah.
That is one of the original ones there. That one comes with the kit. You can see the gloves and the betadine and some wipes and stuff on there, but that one's totally contained.
And
you can go ahead.
And for those suprapubic users, and there's a lot out there, I know that watch our show, really using the sterile technique and the products like you see on that comes with the Rouge your sterile gloves, your Benadine, and there's a paper there that kind of you have a sterile environment around. That really changed my game of not getting so many UTIs when I finally went to that kind of, when I was younger, I just, popped out, popped in, and I, a little KY and it was in. And now I'm like, okay, I wanted a sterile technique and in sterile environment, and that helped cut down some of my UTIs.
Yeah, definitely. It's helped a lot of people. I know, even in the condom catheters, if you look at the condom catheters, that one picture there, I mean, in the beginning it was like latex, but people with spina bifida, they're allergic to latex, So they came out with silicone products too that helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and switch to the next one if you would. Next slide, Shawn. There you go. So then, if you're wearing a condom catheter or a Foley catheter, you're going to use a leg bag. On the left of the screen, you're going to see the white leg bag. That's sort of the standard type of leg bag. That's one that most insurances are going to cover. Then you're going to look to the right and see Urocare. Those bags have been out for a long, long, long time. I think probably 40 plus years.
Are those the
And
surgical rubber? Those are the bags that are rubber?
yeah, they're a rubbery type
Yeah, yeah.
bag that can be used multiple times, and they work for a lot of different people. The neat thing
So
is you have a lot of options. If you look at the ones on the very bottom that sort of have the inlet on the side and the outlet, they're sort of turned on the sides. I mean, in the beginning,
that's
if you're wearing a leg bag, you always were wearing your sweats or jeans or long pants. Now those you can wear with your short pants. I know a lot of guys that do that. Bobby?
yeah, I actually do. I'm 9510 right there. It's the right leg. 9510 is the one I use for my right side to wear shorts, and it works perfect for me. And then Urocare has a special valve that you can easy open and close if you're insert a ring around the quick release, and it makes it so easy. And then if I am wearing pants, I usually use 8518. And that fits, down on my calf. So those two products last a lot longer than the one on the left, where those are going to get stinky. The coloration's going to get discolored real quick, where the Eurocares last at least a month if you properly wash it out each night.
Right, and Eurocare also has a cleaning solution that you can get to use too. The one on the left, that's just the standard generic bag that your insurance is gonna cover easily enough. Some insurances won't. Everything is billed by a code, right? Everything has a code associated to it. So Eurocare leg bags are going to be a lot more expensive than the one on the right, the standard one, a barred one, or whatever the manufacturer is. So unfortunately, sometimes your insurance isn't going to cover that. But I'm telling you, man, paying out of your own pocket for stuff like that, it's going to change your world.
And they can last a long time, and you can take them apart a little bit and start cleaning them to make them last a lot longer. And they're odorless as well. So that was the big draw for me to go to them right away when I was young.
Yeah, now you know what? In the very beginning, when I first got out of the hospital, I was using those too, until I switched to doing intermittent. But along with those leg bags, you have extension hoses that go from your Foley or your condom catheter to the leg bag, and then other hoses that will go down to empty your leg bag. And there's some products, I don't have it out. I don't have a picture of it, but there's a product out there that's an electric leg bag emptier.
Yeah. Hooks up to your battery of your wheelchair.
Yeah, it works great for guys. I mean, you can have a head switch and hit a head switch, and it will open up your leg bag and empty if you're over, the grass or wherever, or you can do another switch on your chair, your power chair, and obviously it's going to be for high level injuries. So
And
why don't you go? Yep.
one more
Go
thing
ahead.
about this. Just last night, one of our guys from Casa, his mom called me and she was trying to find the product to buy, just one of them to try. And I helped her find everything for the straps because Eurocare has fabric straps. And I found everything for her on Amazon that she was able to do one purchase at a pretty reasonable price. And it's funny, Daryl said too about the Eurocare cleaning solution. It stinks. And, I never noticed that, but I now clean mine with just warm water and a little
Vodka.
bit of vinegar.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to figure out what kind of cleaning solution that you like, and that's gonna work for you. But yeah,
Hey,
so we don't
I,
honestly we
I got
don't sell a lot of leg bags and condom catheters. We don't do Foley's at our office just because unfortunately, I hate to say this, but it costs us more to buy the product, and then when you're billing for it, you're actually losing money over time. So
And that's
that's
so
just not,
sad. Yeah,
yeah,
that's so
that's just
sad.
not a product. Yeah, it's just not a product that we really sell a lot of. We will for some of our referral sources, but the thing is, you have so many different options out there, and part of mobility professionals and urology professionals is we want to help educate you. We want to help you understand what is out there. You can always call me um, to find out what type of products are out there. Why don't we go to the next one? The next slide, I mean.
Whoops.
There you go. That's it. So male catheters, there's a few different ones. You got your straight catheters, and you have coude tip or olive tip. Those are different types of tips for patients.
And we
And
had a
all
question
these,
from
yes.
Paul. He was wondering any recommendations for the hydrophilic olive tip.
Coloplast makes a good one. Um, I knew you. Are you talking about straight, or are they looking for a straight
He
one, or are
said
they looking for?
olive. No, he said hydrophilic olive tip is what it
No,
said.
but I mean olive tip with a containment bag, or regular just
Yeah,
straight
he didn't say.
catheter with olive
Let
tip.
us know, Paul, if you're still there.
Hydrophilic olive tip. You know what? So I would suggest Coloplast. They make a really good hydrophilic coating. Bard makes some too, but Coloplast is something that I like the best. Also, Coloplast makes a new product that has a different tip on it, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes after we get through these slides. But a lot of times those coude tips are for somebody who has an issue, maybe has prostatitis or has an uh, an issue with trying to insert the catheter. The olive tip will help go through the prostate into the bladder a little easier.
And Paul
We go.
asked, he's saying that straight catheter is what he was looking for.
Yeah, I definitely look at a Coloplast product for sure. Okay, Shawn, if you want to go to the next one. And all those catheters I just showed, all these are a gel-based and a hydrophilic-based catheter. And for the ladies out there, man, there's all kinds of great products out there. If you look at on the right side, the Speedy Cath that Coloplast puts out, look how small that is. It's being held in a woman's hand. It's a small little catheter. It's easy to stick in a purse or put in a pocket or put in your bag. Also, the Cure product, the Cure Twist over all the way to the right, that's a really good product too. That's a gel base, where the Speedy Cath is actually a hydrophilic base. And then there's all kinds of different catheters that women can use that are in different type of packaging, but those are all going to be small and containable. There's the one catheter right here in the center section. Oh, I have a brain fade. I can't remember the manufacturer. But if you look at it on the right side of the picture, in the purple picture, it is in a little containment piece that you pop out, and then you place it. You take the holding part of it and you screw it a little into the catheter, and it makes it like a right angle. So it makes it easier for women to be able to cath with. So, like I said, you can contact us.
Oh, wow.
And we
Yeah,
will.
now I see how it works.
You see how that is? It's a right angle. So you don't
Yeah,
have to just.
so boom, boom. Yeah, first you
Yeah,
take
it's
it
like an
apart,
adapter.
yeah, then you use the tip and screw it into that one part, and then it's easier to slide in.
Right.
Probably really great for those who are in that C6 range area.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know what, guys, it's a lot easier for us to cath than it is for a woman. It's difficult, A lot of women are going to have to transfer to the toilet. Some can do it in their chairs and stuff, but there's other products too. I just wanted to show everybody that, women's products are going to be a shorter because they don't have as long of a urethra to go through. You can go ahead and go to the next picture if you want. This
And,
is.
and I've heard of some women, I had a friend who only can do it in her car because she can lay her car and her bed. It's because she had to lay down a little bit,
Yeah, recline. How to recline.
Exactly. So just think of that, guys. How many times do you need a cath a day? Usually, 6 times a day. How limited are you to live your life if you have to go back to bed to cath or to your car? So there are catheters out there that can definitely enhance your life. So I'm just going to go over these real quick. Now, these are the game changers, right? These are the type of catheters that have changed our world, that have helped us stay out of the hospital. These are the touchless catheters. All the way to the right, you'll see the MMG. That's the H2O. It has a little package in there, holds water that you bust, and it will send water along the catheter to coat the catheter in water, because that catheter is a hydrophilic catheter that's coated with hydrophilic coating, and you have to have water to activate it.
Yeah, and that's one I use.
And that's the kind you have to bust the packet and shake it around, make sure the water touches the coating.
Yeah, it's got a little burst pack in there.
Then if you look in the middle, there's the Cure. That's the QS14 or the CS14. That's a staple one. That's a gel-based catheter. You're still not touching those, but that comes with the kit. You can get all the supplies with it, your betadine swabs and your gloves and a little sheet like you were talking about earlier, Bobby. And then you have two other catheters that have really changed the game lately. The Vapro, that's the one in the red packaging. That packaging is really small, and that has a catheter that's attached to a bag, but it's not in a bag. So sometimes with the catheter in the bag, it can be a little difficult to advance up if you have limited hand function. This one actually has a sheath around the catheter, so it's a little easier if you have limited hand function. It also has an introducer tip on the top to introduce that into your bladder before you start pushing the catheter in. But
And
that one.
And it looks like our good friend who thanks Sarab with $10 of a super chat. He said, "Yeah, it looks like that's the one he uses, is that Vapro."
So Rob uses that in the very beginning. Sarab had an insurance that I could not take to provide him his product, but he was sort of in a bind, and I sent him a few boxes of those just to tide him over. And finally, now his insurance has changed, and now he's part of Mobility Professionals.
Sweet.
But that's a good one. Now go to the very far left, and that is the new SpeedyCath Flex Set. That is just like the Vapro. Now the Vapro comes in that aluminum foil package, and when you open it up, it can be a little cumbersome to open the whole bag up because the containment bag is sort of folded up and has a little piece of paper over it, and it's completely soaked in water. So that one can be a little messy. But the SpeedyCath Flex Set, if you look at that one, that has the containment bag, and it has fluid inside the sheath where the catheter is. And the neat thing about that one is, and I'll show you guys in a few minutes how it works with a couple samples here. That one is not messy. It's really easy to open and use, and works really well. Let's see. I guess those are sort of all the, well, go to the next one. This is the one that I had to work the hardest to get.
You mean, you doctored it up a lot, huh?
Oh, not me, man. We had a professional doing the airbrushing.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody can contact me. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. That's my personal contact information right there. I just please appreciate it if somebody doesn't call me before 7 a.m. and doesn't call me at 9, 10 o'clock at night. But you can email me anytime. Our office number is right there also. And like I said, man, if you follow us on Facebook at Mobility Professionals or Urology Professionals, or on Instagram, you'll see a lot of good content on Instagram. We have a great social media person that does their stuff, does some really funny stuff, but those are the ways that you can contact us. Let's see. Yeah, I guess you can go the last photo, and then we'll just get off of there and just finish talking it up. Last one, Shawn. Shawn just likes staring at my picture, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And those are our logos. That's where you can find us on Instagram. Try and go there and check it out. But go ahead and let's go live again. And I'm just going to show you 3 quick catheters that I have here. Remember I was talking about the Coloplast Flex Set SpeedyCath?
Yeah.
So it comes in a small package like this. Opens up to a collection bag like this, right? Here's the catheter right here. Here's the top. And this right here is full of fluid, right? That's keeping the catheter, the hydrophilic catheter, moist. And then down here, you break this little piece and it allows the fluid to drain out into the bag. Thank you for changing that. Allows the fluid to drain out into that bag. And then you just pop that cap off. And then I'm going to show you what this tip looks like. Remember we were talking about coude tips? I'll see if I can get this up to my camera here, right in front of my face. There you go. See that tip? It's a little bit of an olive tip, or looking like a coude tip. That is a game changer right there. That helps out tremendously if you have issues trying to insert the catheter. So that one, for anybody who wants to know, that's the SpeedyCath Flex Set. But let me grab the.
Did you have that in the package compared to the Vapro?
I'll show you those right now. Oops.
And Mark, I don't know if any of us have had any type of kidney problems or or renal disease. I haven't. I don't think.
I go just to every 3 months for my kidneys, just because of hereditary things like that. But I have regular appointments for that. Just it's also for my medications and also because I'm cathing and they just want to make sure everything stays at least reasonably in order.
You guys got to remember, man, if with your bladder, you want to make sure you don't have a lot of pressure in your bladder too, because if you're not cathing in time, what's happening is you're getting that reflux, you're getting that urine pushing back
Yeah.
up into your kidneys, and that can cause damage. So here is the Vapro that I was talking about. This comes in this aluminum package, but see how it has the containment bag right there? You have to take this paper off, and this can be a little challenging to us quads. Take that off of there and then unfold this. But while you're doing that, the only drawback is, hold on, I'm gonna do this so I don't fall over.
Get your balance.
One of the drawbacks is this bag is soaking wet. This catheter is soaking wet. It's in the bag, right? In the
see.
Vapor bag. So it can be a little wet and drip on you, whereas the Coloplast one, it's all contained. So here's the little sheath, just like the Coloplast on the catheter. Sometimes this catheter can be a little too flimsy for people. I'm not trying to knock it. It's a great product. And it does have an introducer tip.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said earlier, Dean, like you said earlier, I mean, it's whatever works for, everybody has their special needs or what they like and what they don't like. And so, yeah, because for me, when I started cathing, it was mostly having the, I don't know if is it vinyl or whatever, the stiffer catheter is just easier for insertion, So I use that, was it Roosh, the MMG or whatever, the kit there. And that's what I've been using from the beginning, or once I got to the hydrophilic, yeah, and it's the whole kit.
One that you're using? Yeah. And this one has been around for a long time. Yeah, the MMG. So you see the little silver package in there. It's a great product. A lot of people use it. I use it too sometimes. I use a few different products. I'm not married to just one product, but you can get this in the kit form, or I think you might be able to get it without the kit. But one neat thing is if you get it in the kit form, it has a lot of stuff in it. So you actually get a little bag, a little trash bag. Robert, are you getting the one in with the kit, with the gloves and everything, or without?
Yeah, I get the disposable bag, the gloves, the alcohol pads, everything like that. Yeah.
So see, those are all great products, man. And yes, not one product works best for everybody, but the neat thing is about mobility professionals and urology pros is we're in service on these products all the time. The girls in the office are really well aware of all the new products out there. And same with me. We will send samples to you, to anybody, and let them try it out, because you really got to try several before you get the hang of it to see if it's going to work for you.
And the two products you just showed, are those able to be just emptied into the toilet after use? Or do you just tie it off and throw it away?
So those three can be, you just open up the bag and pour it out, right? And, when I'm on an airplane or something, I carry a big Ziploc baggie. If I have to cath on a plane, I take that cath bag full, throw it in that Ziploc baggie, close the Ziploc baggie, stick it in my backpack, and when I get off the plane, I can throw it out.
Dump it. Yeah, that's a good
It's
idea.
just so convenient. And you know what? You're not touching it. Every time you insert something into your body, you run the risk of an infection. And those products really do cut down on infections.
So, I've never done cathing myself, but with the MMGs and it's touchless, why do you need the kit then?
Well, all of the ones that are touchless, it depends because if you're doing it yourself, a lot of people don't use a kit. But if you have a caregiver who's doing the catheterization, they want to go through the extra steps of being sterile. This is more of a just a clean technique. And then when you use the gloves, the wipes and everything, that's more of a sterile. It's still technically, I think, clean technique, but it's more sterile.
Yeah. The only thing that I complain about on the one I use is they have the alcohol wipe, and the Bard that I used to use back in the day, or not back in the day, but 10 years ago or whatever, was had betadine, and I prefer the betadine. And I know my doctor even says he would like to see betadine, so I use that when I'm at home and all that. I have a betadine, that I use in addition to that alcohol, but I don't know why they don't put the betadine in there.
Well, they're, different manufacturers have different products that they
Yeah,
use.
exactly.
But I know people that will use just the clean technique and also have a wipe, disinfectant wipe kind of thing. It's for your skin, and we'll use one of those and not have the whole kit that goes with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have somebody in our chat that's getting the bladder reconstruction for that Metrograph surgery, and they're trying to figure out what catheters will work best. So, with the lack of finger dexterity.
Dexterity.
But
easy for you to say.
That's something you can set up, Dean, with that person. If you call Dean can get you some samples of different ones, and after your surgery, and you can try some of these different ones that might work best for you.
Exactly. First of all, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions like, what's your level of injury? How long have you been injured? What's your hand function like? What is your surroundings like? What's her name? Just text me your name, and we can figure it out.
And we'll put that on the board one more time before we leave, your number. And then Luis, who his computer probably crashed out on him. It's funny, our most techie guy in the group, he can't get his laptop to go. But he wanted to know, does catheterization needs to change over time and with age?
It definitely can. It definitely can. Because if you're a man, your prostate, you can have some issues with your prostate over time, enlarging. So you might have to go with a Coude tip. If you're using a gel-based catheter, you might have to change to using a hydrophilic catheter. But yeah, it definitely changes.
Would you have to go down in size, like a 12 French instead of 14?
You can, but I know some urologists that will go bigger diameter. For an able-bodied person who tries to urinate on their own, they'll go a bigger diameter to have them put in for a while to see if that helps open it up.
Oh.
But yeah, I know guys and girls that will cath with a 10 French and a 12 French, where the standard usually is 14 and 16. I think using a 10 and a 12, that's somebody's preference. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to empty your bladder.
Yeah.
Anytime,
and that goes like,
go ahead.
And that goes like with us, some of us Foley users for the suprapubic. We, tend to use anywhere from 20 French to 24 French. I think I'm definitely a 20 French, and I think Shawn is a 24, and I know, and if he's not, I know my buddy, it's Ryan, and he uses that because of the clogging and the sediment that builds up, and it's just like, so I think you tend to use different sizes for certain issues.
Yeah,
definitely. You're leaving that catheter in you a long time, and you're collecting a lot of sediment out of there. Plus, you're trying to flush that bladder too. So just having enough room to be able to flush that out. is definitely helpful.
So, Dean,
But that's the
I
whole
have a
thing.
question.
Everybody has their own way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
What's
I have
that,
a
Robert?
question. I use a 14 French, and if I wanted to try a coude tip, can I keep the same 14, right? I mean, just with a different tip.
Yeah, you definitely could. I would definitely talk to your urologist first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
before anybody starts cathing, make sure you go and see your urologist, do some tests, because and not every coude tip is going to be the same. You have to insert that coude tip correctly with the tip facing up, right? Because that tip goes like this, right? So you have to make sure you're inserting it up and not down. And there's different coude tips, coude catheters that have a line on it, so you can actually tell when you're cathing that it's not turning on you.
Okay.
So
That's good to know.
Oh, cool. Well, I think,
But hey,
go
you
ahead,
can
Dean.
contact me anytime. You can contact our office. We're more than happy to send you samples. It doesn't cost you anything. It's easy. Look, you guys, we know a lot of guys and girls in chairs, and unfortunately, we can't provide everybody their products based on the insurance contracts that we have. But man, some of the big companies out there don't care. You're just a name, you're just a number to them. The other thing that makes us different is if you get an infection, you're probably going to have to cath more, right? That's just what happens. You get an infection, you're peeing more, you got to cath more, and your insurance is only allowing X amount of catheters. You call some of the big companies, you want to get extra catheters, they say, sorry, your insurance doesn't cover it, or it's going to take a month for us to try and get authorization. That's not how it is for us. We actually have had the owner of the company, Don Woods, get in his car and drive out to Palm Springs. Our office is in Lake Forest. He drove out to Palm Springs just to drop off samples for a guy that needed to get through another week before he'd get his regular set. So that's the big difference, guys. And it's easy to switch because all you got to do is just say, hey, send me samples. Here's my insurance information. We do the rest. All the girls in the office will contact your doctor, get all the prescriptions, get all the documentation. You don't do anything. The only thing you have to do is make one call to your last provider and say, thank you very much, but I don't need your services anymore. And then we take it from there. It's pretty simple.
That's great. And Shawn, not sure if you can show that slide again of Dean's contact information. And as we're wrapping up, if there's any more questions, let us know. And back one, yeah, there we go. So there's Dean's phone number and email address at the top, and their office number where you can get a hold of Dean. And thanks to mobility professionals and urology professionals, being our sponsor here at Live to Roll and providing, this great content for free and helping us out. Real big appreciation. So, Dean, usually we end the show and thank our sponsors. And you want to do a quick 30-second ad info for mobility professionals and urology professionals?
Yeah, you have our contact information. Really follow us on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, it's easy to get. Check it out. We've got great content on there. And you can go to our website and reach us there. But call the office, man. It's easy. Every time you call our office or contact me, you're going to get a live person to talk to. And we'll be able to help you out with your wheelchair equipment and cushions and stuff, and your urological supplies. How easy is it to call one company and get all of it together?
And if somebody lives in Arizona, can they get some of your, like if they have the dimensions of their chair and their insurance works, can they get the mobility part of it from you guys?
You know what I'm going to tell you? There's companies out there that say, yes, we can do that. But honestly, we like to service what we provide. I had a friend in one of the hospitals. She is doing her rehab here, I told her, I don't want to provide you your chair because you're going to Arizona and I want a company, a national company. Unfortunately, I had to use a national company to provide her chair because that chair could be serviced there. So we usually, if somebody is outside of our geographical area, we don't always do it. If it's somebody that's done a chair with us in the past, and I feel comfortable like they know how to work on their chairs, then we can do that kind of stuff. But catheters and supplies like that, we can do throughout the nation.
That's great. And Daryl, yeah, we did talk about Foley's briefly at the beginning. So check it out. More talking about that. There's some new technology with it, with the silver alloy, and another one coming out with multiple holes so it doesn't clog as easy. So yeah, you can replay it.
Remember, unfortunately, we don't really do Foley's. You know, if you're doing intermittent caths, we can take care of you with that kind of stuff. Condom catheters and leg bags, that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah, not a problem. All right.
Good job, Dean.
So,
good job, man.
thank you so much, Dean, for joining us. And don't forget to hit that like button. And we got some upcoming shows. Monday, we got Sarab, who was in our super chat with a $10 gift today. Thank you, Sarab. He's on every Monday. He's back, feeling much better. And then we are back with Tom and Shawn Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 3:30. Our shows on Tuesday are at 3:30. Our gaming is 5 o'clock on Mondays, and T-Fizzle Wednesday at 5 o'clock usually. And then Thursday, all our Thursday shows are at 3 p.m. We have the women coming up, the that's a mouthful, Wheel Girl Talk. This coming up with Brianna and her ladies. And then at the first of the month, we always have the Golden Oldies. They just did a show on bladder as well for women. So if you're the women out there and want to hear about their experience with bladder, check it out. They had a pretty funny name that they called their show, which was Golden Showers or something like that. So because it was April with April showers, and I was like, whoa. But don't forget, we're going to be back again in 2 weeks with our Rolling Over the Hill with hopefully Luis gets that laptop going, and Robert and myself. We got a great guest coming up in 2 weeks, Ray Pizarro with Push Rim and his foundation, and get to hear what he's some of the excellent things he's doing out there. With that, any last words, Dean?
Nope, all great organizations. Thanks to you guys for putting the content out, man. Definitely, our community definitely needs it.
Well,
So
thank you.
I'll see you guys around.
Yep, definitely.
Well, thanks, everyone.
All right.
We'll see you next time. We'll live to roll.
Live to roll.